We have received word that music legend Ozzy Osbourne has died.
Azie Osborne, known for never shying away from shocking the world, delivered his most stunning revelation just days before his death in July 2025. His final act was the completion of a tell-all memoir, Last Rites, which unearths a deeply buried secret, a long-term affair that nearly shattered his life. While headlines previously offered only glimpses, the book, slated for release later this year, provides a raw account of the damage, the fallout, and his decision to finally come clean. A truth he couldn't take to his grave. In early July 2025, the world witnessed Azie's final stage appearance at 76 years old in Birmingham, the city where his music career began. This Back to the Beginning tour closer was a poignant mix of farewell and full circle. Despite his aged body and recent health setbacks, including severe spinal issues, multiple surgeries, and Parkinson's disease, he stood on his own feet for this one last show, defying his team's warnings. His voice, though weathered, still carried the weight of decades of metal history. The night saw a reunion with his former Black Sabbath bandmates, an unexpected treat given past tensions and health limitations. Fans traveled over 2,000 miles, with the venue needing an 80-foot perimeter expansion to accommodate the unexpected overflow. After the performance, Azie maintained a low profile, publicly offering only a brief message of thanks to his fans and wife, Sharon. Yet, behind the scenes, he was diligently finishing his memoir. On July 22, 2025, Azie passed away peacefully at his Los Angeles home, surrounded by loved ones. The cause of death wasn't immediately confirmed, but reports indicated a significant decline in his health 2 weeks prior, with him being confined to a hospital bed at home under 24-hour care and heavily sedated in his final days. His funeral was a quiet affair in Malibu for family and close friends, with a public memorial in London planned for August, featuring live tributes and a stage modeled after his iconic 1992 No More tours set up. Azie's death wasn't just the end of an artist's life. It marked the close of one of rock's most chaotic and unfiltered legacies. Unbeknownst to many at the time of his final concert, Azie had chosen to reveal something profoundly personal and unflattering, a secret guarded for years within the pages of Last Rites. Last Rites, completed just days before Azie's passing, is reportedly a no-holds-barred account covering every phase of his life. His rise to fame, years of excess, breakdowns, relapses, and crucial personal choices that almost ended his marriage and career. Described as his most raw and direct narrative, sources close to the publishing team say the book begins with his return to the studio in the early 2000s, chronicling the next 2 decades. While some chapters address his health battles, others delve into previously rumored behind-the-scenes decisions like cancelled tours, failed collaborations, and family disputes. What truly distinguishes Last Rites is its unfiltered tone. According to an early reader, Azie's voice is that of a man running out of time, desperate to unburden himself, reflecting on incidents with a strange mix of detachment and regret. A major theme is his addiction, not just to drugs and alcohol, but to chaos. He admits creating dysfunction even when sober, describing how his brain seemingly rejected stability, leading to emotional self-sabotage unrelated to substance abuse. Another significant portion details his therapy for substance abuse, sex addiction, anger management, and depression. In a chapter reportedly titled No Apologies, Azie recounts a therapist telling him he never learned to live without crisis. a truth he admitted scared him more than his Parkinson's diagnosis. He also addresses his family, particularly his children, opening up about the tensions caused by his absence, acknowledging that fame always came first, and expressing guilt over missing their growth. One chapter, The Bedroom and the Grave, purportedly focuses entirely on his private failings, including emotional distance and infidelity, presented not for sympathy but as a ledger of his wrongs. The publisher has confirmed the memoir will be released unedited, raising concerns among some family members about potential fresh damage. This is not a polished rock star story. It's an admission of every misstep, written by a man who had already said his goodbyes. When Azie Osborne married Sharon in July 1982, the odds were stacked against them. He was known for erratic behavior, heavy drinking, and being nearly unmanageable, while Sharon, at 29, took on the dual role of wife and manager. Their marriage endured decades of turmoil, relapse, betrayal, and public scrutiny, held together by an often misunderstood but undeniable bond. From the start, their relationship was volatile, marked by violent arguments, some physical, leading to Azie's arrest and court-ordered rehab in the late 1980s. Sharon stayed, believing she could save him from self-destruction. She pushed to keep their 3 children, Nimi, Kelly, and Jack, grounded amidst the chaos. Azie admitted he was often absent, prioritizing tours and recording sessions. Sharon frequently served as both parents while managing his career, often physically dragging him on stage when he was too intoxicated to stand. Despite everything, they remained publicly united. Sharon became central to Azie's brand, shaping his public image and later launching their reality TV show, The Osbournes, in the early 2000s. The show, however, also exposed deeper issues like Azie's slurred speech, confusion, and emotional distance from his children, with Sharon later stating that what viewers saw was only a fraction of their behind-the-scenes struggles. By the 2010s, Azie's health declined, requiring surgeries for injuries, leading to infections, falls, and neurological complications. Sharon remained by his side until 2016, when cracks in their foundation became undeniable. Sharon suspected something was amiss due to Azie's deliberate emotional distance. In spring 2016, a private confrontation led Sharon to move out for several weeks, cancelling all press events. Friends described her as devastated and humiliated, stating she needed space to decide the marriage's fate. One incident saw Sharon isolated for days, refusing food and sleep, culminating in a mental health emergency. Despite this, she returned home that summer, and the couple issued a joint statement about working through their issues. Azie vaguely admitted to a major mistake. Sharon, however, publicly reappeared with a hardened demeanor, stating she wasn't forgiving anything but choosing to stay. From then on, their marriage shifted, becoming more of a working partnership than a traditional one, marked by shared home, business, and an unbreakable history, but lacking emotional closeness. The full extent of what happened during that time was only revealed in Azie's final days, confirming Sharon's long-held suspicions. Just days before his death, Azie's memoir finally revealed the truth about his secret affair, a persistent tabloid rumor centered on Michelle Pugh, a Los Angeles-based hair colorist loosely connected to Sharon's beauty team. While Azie had previously denied their connection, he fully lays it bare in the book. He writes that his relationship with Michelle wasn't a casual encounter. It lasted nearly 4 years, from 2012 to 2016. Insiders familiar with the book say Azie admits it quickly became a second life, meeting her privately, sometimes under a staff member's name. He initially told himself it was harmless, but stopped, making excuses, enjoying the feeling of being away from everything. Azie describes Michelle as attentive, younger, and making him feel uncomplicated, writing in one unpublished excerpt that it was the only time in years where he didn't feel like Ozzy Osbourne. He claims he never planned to leave Sharon, but also never planned to stop the affair. Michelle had previously given her own account during the public fallout, claiming their relationship was more than physical and that Azie was the love of her life, statements his representatives dismissed at the time. Azie confirms in the book that he was in therapy throughout the affair but wasn't honest with his doctors, attending group sessions, saying the right things, and then meeting Michelle. A former assistant recalled Azie's irregular schedule by 2015, leading people to suspect substance abuse, never guessing the real reason. The truth surfaced in May 2016 when Sharon reportedly found emails and hotel receipts, confronting Azie, who admitted everything. According to last rites, the conversation was brief, and Sharon left the house that day, not returning for weeks. Azie writes, he didn't try to stop her, feeling ashamed but also confused, believing the relationship with Michelle was a temporary escape, not a betrayal. He only understood the damage when Sharon stopped calling or texting. The chapter details how the press got wind of the affair through a leak from Michelle's team, causing the story to explode, which Azie described as the collapse point. The affair didn't just disrupt a marriage, it exposed years of hidden emotional fractures, and in writing about it, Azie made clear that no tour, comeback, or legacy could cover up what he called the ugliest decision of his life. After Sharon discovered the affair, Azie's life underwent a complete revaluation. The period immediately following the 2016 split was marked by a personal, professional, and emotional collapse, described in the memoir as a reckoning. Azie was cut off from the structure that held his life together. He moved out of their shared home. Behind the scenes, his management team he entered a crisis in public appearances organized by family and friends, being referred to a specialist for compulsive behavior, not just substance abuse. Initially resistant, Azie agreed to check into a private facility after weeks of isolation and severe withdrawal. The 3-month therapy program focused on accountability, impulse control, and destructive patterns. Azie writes that the hardest part was not confronting his actions, but accepting he did them for inexplicable reasons, feeling addicted to bad decisions and too used to others cleaning up his messes. During this time, Sharon publicly confirmed their separation but privately monitored his progress. A family friend revealed she agreed to a joint counseling session on the condition of public silence. Their first conversation in nearly 2 months. Azie writes that he broke down during that session, realizing he had lost everything, not because it was taken, but because he gave it away. Sharon listened and asked tough questions, leaving without promises. By midsummer, reconciliation rumors began as they were seen together in West Hollywood. While Sharon's spokesperson denied a formal reunion, insiders said it was part of a longer process. They met multiple times, assessing the damage like people who had lived through a disaster. Eventually, Azie moved back in, but with boundaries. Sharon took full control of his schedule, business dealings, and press obligations, making it clear there would be no second chances. A person close to the family recalled Sharon telling him directly, "If I even think you're lying again, we're done." In Last Rites, Azie doesn't portray this period as a comeback, but as learning to live with the person he nearly destroyed. The first few weeks were quiet. Even the dogs sensed the tension. Gradually, structure returned. They began working together again, traveling for a short European tour later that year. And by the end of 2016, they were side by side at award shows. Sharon's insistence on full transparency, including a separate couples therapist and regular check-ins, helped stabilize things. Azie accepted her control without pushback, writing that redemption came in fragments, being allowed back into the house, invited to dinner with the kids, or included in a family photo, each feeling like something he had carelessly thrown away being returned. While the past couldn't be erased, Azie viewed this period as the closest he'd had to starting over, not with a clean slate, but with a clear understanding of what he stood to lose. When Last Rites was announced, many assumed it would be a final reflection on Ozzy Osbourne's music, health, and addiction. However, early excerpts revealed its deeper, unfiltered nature. Publishers and family members made no effort to tone it down after his death, as Azie had left strict instructions for its exact, unedited release. Some fans defended him, citing his consistent transparency about his flaws, while others were less forgiving, seeing it as an attempt to reframe mistakes. One radio host noted the book read like a man seeking peace but not fully taking blame. For Sharon Osbourne, the memoir brought a new wave of public scrutiny. She made no statement and avoided interviews for weeks, having read the manuscript before Azie's death and discussed its publication. Still, insiders say the public reaction reopened old wounds. She reportedly told friends she respected Azie's decision, but was unprepared for the scale of the reaction. The children largely remained silent, neither promoting nor acknowledging the memoir, with family insiders suggesting disagreement among them about its release. While Azie intended it as a full account of his life, its impact on those around him is harder to control. Ultimately, Last Rites fulfills Azie's intention. It closes his story on his own terms, with the brutal honesty that defined him. Love it or hate it, its authenticity is undeniable, reminding everyone that legends don't always leave clean legacies. Sometimes they leave the truth.